Are you looking for help building maps in Yeeps for BAM or just for fun? I can help you in this video. I'll give you simple tips on how to build in Yeeps, and hopefully this will help you build great maps.
Alright, so maybe you don't have any idea on what you want to build, or just don't have any inspiration. You can try to get some inspiration from, say, other video games. I've built one map that is themed around the Halo Control Center from Halo 1. And so you can go look at other video games, you can look at movies, you can look at some sort of book, read about this great castle and build it how you imagine. That's the fun part. You can just build whatever you want, and it won't really matter. Once you have a general idea, then you can start building. Alright, so say you want to build some sort of boulder. You can use a pillow bomb, take a look at it, and just start placing down blocks in its pattern. It doesn't have to be 100% correct, but you can just start building however. And if they start to disappear, just place down another one if you want it to size. You can just place them however you want. You can put another one on top if you want. This is just the technique I've used to build boulders. Still try to make them look natural. But once they start popping, it won't really matter because it's just helping you out. But here's some sort of rough boulder shape that you can use just based off of the pillow bomb. If you want it more, you can just throw another pillow bomb, see how it outlines. Still try to make it look natural. And just keep building. That's what I did on my ocean map for many of the boulders. And when building, you don't have to fill in your spaces. You can oftentimes just leave them hollow. And even if you leave them hollow, then you can put some sort of secret Easter egg inside if anyone manages to look around where they shouldn't. It's just always about having fun. But when there is a hole, make sure to fill it in if you don't want anyone looking in, or any sort of light. So you can either put that on the inside or the outside. And don't ever feel bad about bringing along your friends to come help you build. You can always use some help when building if you don't know what you're doing, or just feel like you have a large project. You don't want to get overwhelmed when building, because then you'll get discouraged and not want to continue building it, especially if you're doing something that's very tedious. So having help can bring more joy and just have someone to talk to instead of being lonely in the vast Yeep world. There are plenty of Yeeps that I'm sure will help you build if they want to. You just gotta ask. And remember, this is, if you're building in your private, you have the ability to pick who comes into your private. And if you're building in a community world, I'm pretty sure you can still make the world private to only your friends. But there's no reason to build by yourself unless you want to build by yourself, which is completely fine. And if you like the wiring, you can always incorporate those into your builds. There's no reason to not do it. You can make doors and all kinds of fun stuff. It's just what your imagination can do. And it will be soon enough before someone makes Yeeps in Yeeps with the wiring. And make sure to incorporate fun things for the players to do in your maps, like the races. Doesn't have to be the main game mode, but just simple side things that they can do when exploring around. And they can test out how fast they can go. The Yeeps community is very competitive on many things, so simple things as a race, they'll try to get max speed and do whatever they can to get across the finish line as fast as they can. Just simple things like these that'll help encourage more people to your maps. And not every map has to be a hide and seek map. Even for BAM, you can have the monster, you can have just tap tag, no pins, or just hanging out. There are plenty of signs. There's even the free-for-all sign and the combat signs that is, in the making of this video, in the lab. So, it doesn't have to be hide and seek. You can build whatever you want for whatever game mode. But if you don't have any ideas, you can try making a map themed for that sign specifically. Say the free-for-all one. If you want to do some sort of medieval battle, that's completely fine. You can do a medieval battle. But if you don't have any inspiration, just look at the things around you and the things that have something that can give inspiration. Because you don't want to get hit by a roadblock and not have any idea what to build, even though you want to build something. Even for BAM. BAM gives plenty of examples when they make the post that try to give you some inspiration on what you can build. There are phenomenal things that people have built in the BAM that are just jaw-dropping. So I believe that you guys can build incredible maps as well. You just not got to know where to look and what you like to do. And when building, make sure to test out your map. Not just building the whole time, but actually play your map. Take it to the wilds if you're that trustworthy of the community, or test it out with your friends. Ask their opinion on the map. See what problems there is when playing. Try to go back and fix those maps or those problems after you get done with the testing, and see what else you might have caught while fixing those mistakes. Because you don't want to submit a map to BAM that has a bunch of problems, because then it's likely not going to win if it has, say, a big gaping hole in the middle of the map that you never cared to fix. Because you want your map to be completed. It doesn't have to be 100%, but you want your map to be 100% completed mostly when testing it. You can do early tests on simple things as just a boat. See how the community that you're playing with reacts to just the boat. Just simple things. Because in many of my maps, I have had to go back and fix problems based off of the community's feedback on when I've tested these maps. You can ask the Yeeps Discord, the Wilds, Community Worlds, I'm sure, just your friends. Even any other Yeeps communities you're in. It's just about having fun with your maps and testing them out. You don't want them to end up getting all this negative feedback because it's not even complete, but you do have to be thick-skinned when receiving the criticism about your map's not done, or simple things like there you forgot to put the stuffing machines. Just simple things. People are going to be very negative about your creations, but you have to be positive and they'll listen to their criticism, but not let it take over everything, and just let it help you with building and completing your map. And remember, it doesn't matter what you build. It's what you want to do. All you have to do is have fun. That's the main purpose of video games, is to have fun. It's not about all the criticism of building something completely horrible or building something that's completely stupendous but completely gets ignored. It's just about having fun. Don't let all the community completely bog you down if your build is not perfect or gets ignored. Just have fun. That's what I've done with many of my maps. But if you do want a place to go and share your maps, make sure to join the community world Nexus. That is my community world. That is where you can go in and paste in one of your favorite maps that you have made. There's also going to be building competitions eventually. We can get the community world large enough. And there's also other kinds of content that'd be on my YouTube channel, like a fashion show, if we get it completed in time. And more people. So if you are interested in joining the community world, make sure to use code Nexus and favorite it so you can come back later and paste in your map. And if we get it popular enough, we can do some great things in it. Maybe even get it featured on the official Yeeps YouTube channel, as they are doing with many other community worlds. You can also join my Discord, which I have linked in the description, which is also a hub for that community world and my channel. So if you ever want to play with me outside of Yeeps or inside of Yeeps, you can do all that. Play a bunch of games, but we're still a very small community right now, so if you want to join, go right ahead. No one's stopping you. But I hope these tips helped you in this, and you can find some inspiration and guidance for making great maps. I have faith in all of you that you can make great maps. And maybe put in references and Easter eggs. That's always fun to do. But in the meanwhile, hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.